Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TEW Local to Global 1987. We're back because of GCW, and this is the final episode on TEW2020. Next episode we'll be moving to TEW9. Hopefully I can figure out how to turn the database into to turn this save into a database. I should be able to. It's pretty much the same concept, but we'll see. It's a new process, so I still have to do some editing in the database as well. I have to change some things here and there. Because they have a celebrity ranking now, so I have to change all the workers that are celebrities into celebrities. I have to change the booking skill and the booking reputation of everybody that works for GCW. Technically, I would have to do it for everybody, but I'm not doing it for 10,000 or so workers, so I'll do it for GCW only. And I had a list. I don't remember what else I had to change, but I know I have it somewhere. Whatever, doesn't matter. Oh, right here. Oh, and somebody wanted me to bring Antonio Inoki to the main roster so he could join my booking team. So that's what I'll do. So I need somebody else to run MCW. It's because I run another save where I had Maritime Championship Wrestling, obviously based in the Maritimes in Canada. That's why I mentioned Maritimes, but that's not what it is. Anyway, it's Maryland. Jerry Lynn versus Buff Bagwell in our opener. Just a pre-show match. Get the crowd buzzing, give Buff Bagwell some momentum. It's 47. We open the show with The Undertaker and Paul Bearer in the ring. They're cutting a promo. And Paul Bearer, he's talking shit. He mentions The Undertaker's brother, and this pisses off The Undertaker, so he turns around and he backs Paul Bearer into the corner before leaving the ring and leaving Paul Bearer alone. Gets an 89. We're backstage with Eddie Guerrero and Juventud Guerrera from the LWO, and Eddie tells Juvi that tonight he faces Matt Hardy for the Cruiserweight Championship, so you better regain the Cruiserweight Championship for me. So gets a 42, and that match is next. Matt Hardy retains the Cruiserweight Championship, defeats Juventud Guerrera in 10:25, gets a 66. Gene Okerlund interviews Dustin Rhodes, and Chris Candido and Chris Jericho come out, Gene interviews Chris Jericho, Dustin comes out, Candido jumps Dustin. That's what happens. And this was supposed to set up Chris Candido versus Dustin Rhodes next week, but since Candido is injured, I'm going to change it. It's going to be Dustin versus Super Calo instead, and I'm just going to add Chris Candido to the beatdown post-match, which will happen next week. 78. We got a promo with the reigning World Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, and Showrock comes out, and they want a tag team title rematch, and this will take place at Summer Showdown. 75. We've got Chris Benoit versus D'Lo Brown up next, and Chris Benoit gets the victory with a crippler crossface. A lot of interference in the match, but that's fine. Gets a 90, which is what I expect from Chris Benoit, and D'Lo Brown, very underrated performer. But it gets a good rating. Booker T is cutting a backstage promo. He finally gets his match against Stevie Ray in the Summer Series tournament. And we're backstage with the Nation of Domination, and they're hyping up Stevie Ray because he faces Booker T up next. And, not that great. 11 minutes. That's because, we're saving this match still. We've had it. We teased it a couple times. We teased it once at Warren Wales, but it was a DQ. We tease it here, but it's a count out. And the actual match will take place at a later date. But for the time being, Booker T advances in the Summer Series tournament. Gets a 66. The Flock cut a promo, and Triple H comes out, and Raven tells Saturn that he wants him to take care of Triple H at Summer Showdown. So, at Summer Showdown, Perry Saturn versus Triple H. 63. And in our main event, DDP finally gets his match against Steve Austin, but unfortunately, he loses, and Austin advances in the Summer Series, which means that these are our semifinals. We got Dustin Rhodes versus Chris Jericho, which will be taking place at Summer Showdown. Steve Austin versus Booker T, also taking place at Summer Showdown, and the winners of those matches will be facing off in the main event of Summer Showdown for the Summer Series tournament. So, gets an 85, improves our popularity in 20 regions, not too shabby. I'm not going to argue with that. Okay. Heavy metal rival bid. Yeah, I'm not. I guess we're losing heavy metal because I'm not offering heavy metal at $13,000. WWF are hiring John Tenta. Good for them. Don't really have any interest in John Tenta at the moment. Golga would have been nice, but Dick Slater storms out a show. Should we hire Dirty Dick Slater? I might, honestly. I might get him just to job him out to other guys. Kind of like Greg Valentine, Hercules Hernandez. Alright, so we still got one more fuel to book, so let's get straight into that right now. Second fuel of today's episode, let's get straight into it. We've got Jeff Hardy and Heavy Metal on the pre-show, and Jeff Hardy gets the victory with a Swanton Bomb, gets a 61. We open the show with Steve Austin cutting a promo and Dustin Rhodes coming out, and Chris Jericho also comes out. What was originally supposed to happen was Chris Candido and Chris Jericho would beat down Dustin, and then we had Dustin versus Candido, but instead we're just going to do this, and Dustin gets a match against Super Calo, which he wins, and then afterwards Chris Jericho, Chris Candido, and Steve Austin beat down Dustin. Booker T makes a save, and James J. Dillon announces a tag team match, Chris Jericho and Steve Austin versus Dustin and Booker T tonight. Whew! Also tonight we've got Sting versus Mankind, with the winner facing The Undertaker at Summer Showdown. I don't know if you guys remember that from last episode. But, yeah, gets an 88 for this. Chris Benoit's in action next. He gets a victory over Stevie Ray by DQ after The Rock interfered. He gets an 87. Chris Benoit is just getting numbers out of the Nation of Domination. And he faces The Rock, at Summer Showdown because he just won against every member of the Nation. And The Rock comes out, beats down Chris Benoit, and J.J. Dillon announces a cage match to limit any interference. So Chris Benoit versus The Rock in a cage for the Intercontinental Championship this Saturday. 85. Raven has a backstage promo. He says Saturn has done well, but the flock follows Raven. Gets a 75. The Big Show in action against the Road Dogg, and the Big Show gets the victory with a 74. Afterwards, we get a brawl between Showrock and the New Age Outlaws. These two teams face off for the Tag Team Championships this Saturday. Gets a 72. LWO cutting a promo, and the Hardys come out, Jeff and Matt. And Eddie gets his rematch against Matt Hardy, not on pay-per-view, but tonight, Cruiserweight Championship, Eddie versus Matt. If Eddie wins, he becomes, I think it's an 8-time Cruiserweight Champion. And he does. Eddie Guerrero, once again, the Cruiserweight Champion, gets a 79. Afterwards, we've got a Dustin and Booker versus Steve Austin and Chris Jericho. All of these are semifinalists in the Summer Series. Austin faces Booker, and Dustin faces Jericho at Summer Showdown, with the winners facing each other, of course. Alright, and Booker T pinned Chris Jericho to get that victory. It's a 91. Afterwards, we've got an interview with Diamond Dallas Page. He doesn't know what he's going to do now. He lost his match against Austin. He doesn't know what's next for him. 86. And in our main event, this did not do as good as I hoped. Sting gets a victory over Mankind with a roll-up, gets a 78. Afterwards, The Undertaker comes out and beats down Sting, which gives us an 85. And that's the go-home show to Summer Showdown. So let's run down the card one last time for Summer Showdown. The New Age Outlaws defend the Tag Team Championships against Showrock. Dustin Rhodes versus Chris Jericho in one of the semifinals. Steve Austin versus Booker T in the other semifinal. Triple H versus Perry Saturn. Chris Benoit versus The Rock. The Undertaker versus Sting. And finally, the winner of Dustin and Jericho faces the winner of Austin and Booker. And that's it. Nobuhiko Takada is getting offered a contract, I guess. I agree. Alright. So let's go to Summer Showdown, which is the final show we're going to run in TEW2020. So, again, I'll book it. I'll show you the results. I'll be right back. Alright, we are here, the final show being held in TEW2020, and it's Summer Showdown. In our pre-show match because I need 3 match aims. This is a high spots match. Rey Mysterio gets the victory over Grandmaster Sexay, gets a 75. Hyping up the crowd, just, putting them in the mood because we're opening the show with Jim Ross, Joey Styles, and Mauro Ronaldo. They welcome everybody to GCW Summer Showdown, where we'll crown our Summer Series winner. GCW World Championship is on the line, GCW Tag Team Championships, GCW Intercontinental Championship, and I believe that's it. Only 3 titles on the line tonight, 4 counting the Summer Series. 63, we're opening the show. Dustin Rhodes versus Chris Jericho, semifinals, and we're off to a good start. Dustin gets a victory over Chris Jericho, and Dustin Rhodes advances in the Summer Series to the main event, where he'll face either Steve Austin or Booker T. Gets a 99. That match is next, by the way. And Steve Austin gets the victory over Booker T, 98, after Stevie Ray turned on Booker, came down and attacked Booker, costing him the match, which means our Summer Series main event, Summer Showdown main event, is Steve Austin, Dustin Rhodes for the Summer Series crown. 2 fantastic back-to-back, 99, 98. Can we go for more? So let's see. World Tag Team Championships on the line, and the New Age Outlaws retain the Tag Team Championships, defeating Show Rock with an 84, better than I expected, but it could have been worse. Triple H versus Perry Saturn is next, and Triple H gets the victory over Perry Saturn, hits that pedigree, and it gets a 79. Next up is the cage match for the Intercontinental Championship. Gets a 95. Chris Benoit is once again the Intercontinental Champion, and we get a 95 for that. Now we've got The Undertaker versus Sting. And The Undertaker retains the GCW World Championship, hits that Tombstone Piledriver, gets a 97. And afterwards, The Undertaker turns on Paul Bearer, kicking him to the curb. The Undertaker is now going solo, gets an 87. We're not done yet, we've got one more match. Dustin Rhodes, Steve Austin. I'm pretty sure both these guys have won the Summer Series in the past, which means we're guaranteed to have our first ever 2-time Summer Series winner. Pretty sure Austin won the first and Dustin won like the 4th or 3rd, whatever. 87. Let's get to see our main event. Another 99. Steve Austin defeats Dustin Rhodes with a handful of tights, and he wins the Summer Series Championship, a 99, which means we get a 97. Fantastic show. Fantastic. And it's a sweet note to end on for GCW. Made almost $10,000 in the past month. We're going to sim one more day just so we can get to September. And after that, we'll end the episode. Alright. Hercules Hernandez, we're not going to re-sign. Greg Valentine, we're not going to re-sign. Kenny Chaos. I mean, there's no reason for me to sign anybody right now because it's just going to, cancel out when I move databases, so it doesn't really matter. Bam Bam Bigelow. We can get Bigelow. Not right now, obviously, but when we move to TEW9. And Scott Hall. Scott Hall can come back. I'll consider it. I know some people want all of these guys to come to GCW, but the thing is, I can't really sign everybody. Ooh, Scott Steiner. I might have to bring back Scott Steiner. Anyway, I want all these guys, but the thing is, I can't really feature them all at the same time, right? I don't have infinite room on my roster. I only have like 2 hours of TV every week, not counting Saturday night's wrestling. And the next A show, our version of SmackDown is Ignition, and that's not coming until, I think I wanted it in like 97. like September 97, so like in a year's time. In a year in the database. $4,000 we made. And the brand split would be a year after that. Alright, let's see. 8-time Cruiserweight Champion, Eddie Guerrero. 2-time Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit. 2-time Summer Series winner, Steve Austin. Television Champion, Raven. 3-time Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws. And the 2-time GCW World Champion, The Undertaker. And that's where we're going to end things off. Thank you guys for watching this episode of GCW. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more. We'll see you guys in the next one, which will be taking place in TEW9. Alright. Have a good one.